Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at LRC, and just before we do, I'll just peek briefly at Bitcoin just so you kind of know what's going on there. It's pretty much trading right around 65,000. It's trying to figure out if it wants to close above or below there on the one-day chart. We'll find out here soon, but yesterday's correction allowed for a lot of discounts in the market. So really not a bad thing when you think about it, but it did unfortunately trigger a lot of stop losses for folks, including myself, and that does happen sometimes. Now looking at LRC. Let's go ahead and take a peek here. Oh, sorry, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I'm just love trading and I really love helping people become better traders. So I do have a trading community designed for that specific purpose where I send signals for every single trade that I take. Definitely check that out in your own time. All right, so let's take a look at the one-day chart and we'll work our way down. As per usual, we can see that LRC is not slowing down. It just continues higher and higher. We're at 326 right now, and its all-time high is roughly about almost $4. We could round up and say $4, 398. So awesome stuff from LRC. We're definitely looking good there. Not much to really note here except the RSI is over 70. It's going to probably remain there for a while on the one-day chart. Pretty much the same thing too as well for the 4-hour chart. RSI is back under 70, but that's actually perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually healthy on the 4-hour chart. We'd like to see that. We do have a bearish divergence here, basically just implying the fact that that momentum has been lost from the bulls. But I don't think that's too much to be concerned about, and I'll explain why here in a moment. Let's take a look at the moving averages, always a little ways away. So all good there. All right, let's look at the 1-hour chart. This is kind of going to give us perspective on what's actually going on a little bit, on a smaller time frame. First of all, this squiggly line here, that's basically a support channel. So I drew that in there yesterday when the price came up and retraced. And you can see it bounced right off this strong support level here at about 283. So I feel like the lowest price for LRC right now is 283. I don't think we're even going to see that tested again. And the main reason why is because I do see a nice pattern forming here. Okay, so this does look like a bullish pennant. And you know what, let's get a better, straighter line here for you. Typically, a pennant pattern breaks to the upside. Okay, so you can kind of see that working itself up there, because what it does, it starts from the bottom. Here, let's get rid of this guy here. And what it does, it comes from the bottom, works its way in, and then breaks out to the upside. Will it break out right now or later? Hard to say specifically, but more often than not, you will see a breakout to the upside. On coins like this, it's basically a bullish continuation. And I can actually pull up for you too so you see what that looks like. It's basically a pennant continuation bullish variant, right? We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, where it comes up, gets topped out, bounces around a little bit, narrows itself into a wedge, and eventually breaks out. Because what's happening is the bulls and the bears are fighting. They're basically, I want to sell here, I want to buy here, and it eventually works its way out. But that continuation occurs because it started in that direction, right? So that's effectively what's happening there. So just note that that is the likelihood, in my opinion, that we're going to see a break to the upside more so than to the downside. So what does that mean for you? Should you add to your position? Sure. Yeah, I mean, at least I would, just based on the simple fact that it shouldn't go much lower, and that in fact that it's working its way, progressing upwards like that. These are basically, this is, and it's interesting because it's not necessarily higher highs and higher lows, right? Because you got your higher high here, but it's a higher low, or a lower high rather, and then you got your lower low here, and then a higher low as well. But it's very deceptive. But this pattern works oftentimes more often than not. It'll break to the upside. Okay, so that's my guess here, and that's my speculation. So don't worry if you're not seeing higher highs and higher lows. This pattern doesn't really work in that regard. It'll just narrow itself into a smaller scope. Eventually, it'll kind of just squeeze really tight and then shoot one way or the other. It will likely shoot to the upside. Also, bear in mind too, we have a lot of support right here at about $2.83. In fact, let's take a quick look at the volume profile, kind of see where the majority of the volume is accumulating in the more recent time frame here. Obviously down here, of course, where there's a lot of consolidation, that's about 220. But secondary to that, you can see strong amount of volume accumulation here right about 323. That's really close to where the price is at, just below as a matter of fact. So that is a very good sign. I'd like to see that. That basically tells us that we're going to probably see a continuation right here closer to the center and then a leg up eventually soon. Now, if it were to leg up, let's just go with a hypothetical there. Because again, even though there's no guarantees, I think it's more often than not we're going to see that happen. If it were to leg up, we're going to see, I would say 725 is a best case scenario. And what we can expect though, just as far as time frame is concerned, because when you look at this time frame, right, that was November 5th. That was roughly about 7 days ago. So it took 7 days to increase a total of about 225%. So to get that same amount of growth, that same distance, for lack of better terms, it's going to, take at least another 5 to 7 days, right? I would speculate even longer, just based on the fact that we have to have a little bit more consolidation, and the simple fact that LRC did increase significantly. I mean, we cannot fail to acknowledge just how big of an increase it's been making, right? Super huge increase, retracement, consolidation. Super huge increase, retracement, consolidation, right? We should be able to see a leg up here soon. So the bottom line is that LRC has strong potential to continue to the upside. There's no bearish qualities at this point. Yes, we have a bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart for the MACD divergence, but that doesn't concern me much based on the pattern that we have here. In addition to the fact that we had a sell-off from yesterday from Bitcoin, and it's been recovering ever since, right? So it probably would be even higher right now if it wasn't for that sell-off from yesterday, right? So this is actually great, kind of gives us another additional buying opportunity to maybe add to your position, or dollar cost average, whatever works best for you. But just make sure you set profit targets just below resistance levels, right? So an example here, 458 is a resistance, the next major. Set your profit target 350. Sorry, correction, I misspoke, 450. Furthermore, $5.51 is the next major resistance past that. Set your profit target at 545. And if you don't know, how to set multiple profit targets, I can help you with that through my Coinstats exchange. That's what we use through our correction. It's not a Coinstats exchange, it's Coinstats trading bot, and we use that on multiple exchanges on our trading community, right? Where I send out signals for every single trade that I take. But what's cool is that the actual bots that you can use it with 3Commas as well. There's a handful of other ones. You can set multiple profit targets, and you can also set trailing stop losses. These are things that most exchanges don't offer. So I think it's tragic they don't offer that, but it does kind of, it takes there's a slight learning curve, but once you get it down, it helps you secure your profits. And I can tell you what, I've probably increased my overall percentage by at least 10 to 15% as far as, my, taking profit / success rate. It's all getting better based on that sentiment alone. Okay. So just highly recommend you consider doing that. Been using trading bots for some time now, and they make things so much better, more user friendly. You set it and forget it. Okay. All right, so hopefully you found benefit here. Enough rambling from me. You heard it. You heard it from here. We'll take a look at LRC daily here moving forward until things eventually die off, or maybe just make this the primary thing. KDA and LRC are kind of the two ones that I get the most requests for, so that's the main reason why I cover them, because I get a lot of people asking about it. So thanks again so much to my community members. Also, if you're not a patron currently, check it out. Consider subscribing before the month is over. It's actually going to raise the rates next month, just based on the fact there's a lot of demand, and need to be able to make sure to maintain that. Okay. So thank you so much again to my current patrons. You're amazing. Love each and every one of you very much. We'll look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.